Hi everyone. I am going to meet a new artist. I'm not sure he's a band, but he's an artist. And listen to my first piece of music by him. And it's actually a name that I have heard before. I guess I've seen some news headlines through the years about him. His name is Prince. I'm sure you all know who that is. I didn't realize, because you probably know by now that I don't really keep up with celebrity news. I understood that he was some sort of celebrity musician. I didn't realize that he was a rock musician, and perhaps he's more than a rock musician, I don't know. But that's about all I know about him, so Vlad has put together a nice little introductory few paragraphs for me, and I will read them. Prince Rogers Nelson was an American singer, multi-instrumentalist, songwriter, record producer, and actor. The recipient of numerous awards and nominations, he is widely regarded as one of the greatest musicians of his generation. Okay. He was known for his flamboyant, androgynous persona, his wide vocal range, which included a far-reaching falsetto and high-pitched screams, and his skill as a multi-instrumentalist, often preferring to play all or most of the instruments on his recordings. While reading this sentence, and looking at his name, I have to say that it just makes me think Queen and then Prince. I don't know if Prince was the name he was born with or if it was a stage name he took on, but somehow it feels like there might be some similarities between them. At least knowing just that much. His music incorporated a wide variety of styles, including funk, R&B, rock, new wave, soul, synth pop, pop, jazz, blues, and hip-hop. Whew! Prince produced his albums himself, pioneering the Minneapolis sound. Prince sold over 150 million records worldwide during his lifetime, ranking him among the best-selling music artists of all time. His awards include the Grammy President's Merit Award, the American Music Awards for Achievement and of Merit, the Billboard Icon Award, an Academy Award, and a Golden Globe Award. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2004, the UK Music Hall of Fame in 2006, and the Rhythm and Blues Music Hall of Fame in 2016, and was inducted twice into the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame in 2022. That's a long list of awards and recognitions. Kind of goes along with a long list of musical styles, doesn't it? Estimates of the complete number of songs written by Prince range anywhere from 500 to well over 1,000. Some of these songs were made popular after being covered by other musicians, including Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. Well, I guess I remember now that Prince was the one who, back when I did that listen, I had forgotten that it was Prince. Okay, so he's not a total stranger to me. I've at least listened to one of his songs sung by another artist. Manic Monday by the Bangles. His sixth album, Purple Rain, was recorded with his new backing band, The Revolution, and was also the soundtrack to the film of the same name in which he starred. Purple Rain garnered continued success for Prince and was a major commercial achievement, spending 6 consecutive months atop the Billboard 200 chart. The soundtrack also won Prince the Academy Award for Best Original Song Score, whilst the movie grossed $7.3 million worldwide against its $7.2 million budget. Wait, did I say 7.3? 70.3. $70.3 million worldwide against its $7.2 million budget and publications. Critics have regarded Purple Rain as one of the greatest musical films. So then this song, Purple Rain, also has a movie to go with it. Maybe at some point I should watch the movie. And an album. This could be an interesting project to explore at some point in the future. Purple Rain, the song, is a power ballad that combines rock, R&B, gospel, and orchestral music. Purple Rain reached number 2 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and stayed there for 2 weeks. It is certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America and is considered to be one of Prince's signature songs. Well, then that's a good one for me to test out. Purple Rain was ranked number 18 on Rolling Stone 2021 list of the 500 greatest songs of all time and is included in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's 500 songs that shaped rock and roll. Prince explained the meaning of the song as follows. When there's blood in the sky, red and blue equals purple. Purple rain pertains to the end of the world and being with the one you love and letting your faith, God, guide you through the purple rain. Interesting idea. Blood in the sky. Blue, red, purple. Okay, let's see how it sounds.
I never meant to call you in your sorrow. I never meant to call you in your pain. I don't want to walk down see you laughing. I only want to see you laughing in the purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Only want to see you bathing in the purple rain. I never wanted to be your weekend lover. I don't want to be some kind of friend. Hey. Baby, I could never steal you from another. It's such a shame our friendship had to end. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain.
I'm so intrigued by the mix of styles that I'm hearing in here, but I'm also still playing with this idea of, which maybe it's completely made up in my mind, Prince and Queen. And, well, of course, Queen is not just a single person, Queen is a whole band. But whether or not there's an actual influence, link, inspiration, I do hear some similarities in his vocal delivery. The first few lines were similar to some of the lines that I've heard Freddie deliver. And now in this Purple Rain chorus, again, it's this sort of mix of voices and the rhythms. It sounds a bit more modern, but of course, we all know that Freddie and the rest of Queen loved blues and gospel and American style rock as well. So it's probably not hard to find links and inspirations, but this has a bit of the feeling of connectedness to the classic styles.
Baby, I could never steal you from another. It's such a shame our friendship had to end. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Only want to see you.
But if we were going to really remake this Queen style, we'd need more guitar presence there, wouldn't we? We're missing Brian May's guitar. right here. Something's in there. It's okay, we'll let it be Prince.
Something new, that means you too. You say you want a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind. I think you better close it and let me guide you to the purple rain. Purple rain.
I'm listening to the textures and the flow of this piece, and it really travels different places, but without being jarring. First we hear, a rapid fire delivery of a sentence, kind of speech pattern, and then next thing we know, we hear cello gliding along, and then suddenly we have a grand drum strike which halts the flow of everything and kind of, and then we fall into a chorus. It has the feeling of, I don't know if you've ever been out on a boat, on a large body of water, and the water's a little bit rough, and maybe it's sometimes you're floating, sometimes you're traveling more smoothly, and sometimes it gets a bit choppy and you bounce up, and it's that feeling of a grand setting in a way, as in a large body of water. Well, I know this is talking more about rain than the sea, but if I think about rain, somehow it's hard for me to find a way to relate that to the music itself. You have to take this water concept a little bit more broadly, and then you can imagine maybe even a thunder shower coming up out on the sea. And the music, I'm just trying to think of ways to describe how the musical effect is in this piece, and that's the picture that I could place that feels like what I'm hearing. Cello. guess this was taken from a live recording, huh? I hear audience at the end. Okay. Well, that was interesting. There were places where I thought to stop it, but I didn't want to stop the flow of it. It was so... It's a bit like watercolors, where the colors blend one to the next, and you don't really want to interrupt the transitions and the flow of it. What felt like it was as a guitar solo, and then would probably come back to a verse or two at the end, or at least a chorus. It ended up becoming this whole long instrumental section. Well, it featured guitar, and then I even heard a bit of the cello kind of weaving with the guitar for a little bit, and then his voice comes in, and he's using his falsetto really high, but it's beautiful. I guess I kind of like his voice. I like the colorfulness of it. I like his delivery. I like the ease with which he's presenting all the varied colors and textures and musical qualities, expressive elements through the piece. And I can't say that it's a Freddie voice, but it's certainly a very distinctive individual voice, which has a lot of not only skill and capacity, but passion in it. And I love that. I love I guess colorful is the word I would use to sum up what I feel and hear in this voice. I love color. Interesting too. This piece has purple in the title. It's about color, isn't it? And then towards the end, it almost began to feel like a movie score in a way, which, knowing that he was an actor, doesn't surprise me. And but this ending section, I couldn't decide. Is this some scene in a movie, or is it perhaps the end credits? It felt a bit like the end credits to me, which makes sense. So an interesting blend of verses, chorus, a long solo, kind of improvisatory section, which morphed and changed and shifted, transitioned, and then settled into a more instrumental style for the ending, more like a backing, supportive sound. But I have to say that I enjoyed it, mostly because of the voice. It was the voice that caught me in this one. Well, not just the voice, actually. The way that the different parts of the verses and the chorus and all of that shift from one style to another. The points where the music stops and kind of holds us, and then we drop into it again and we keep going. It felt like a journey. A bit of a... I wouldn't quite call it epic, but not small. This has kind of piqued my interest about Prince and his work a bit because, well, I enjoy, especially because he handled so many different styles, and even within this piece, I noticed a lot of different styles, although I appreciated the way in which he didn't make it sound as if he's just sampling a style here, a style there. It felt very appropriate for that moment, and it fit within the whole very well. And so I was able to enjoy it as a piece of music and not just a stylistic sampler or or display of ability in different departments. So I'm a bit curious to explore maybe a bit more of what he's produced at some point. Because, yes, I do feel like there are some similarities between him and Queen. I do. Maybe it's because I've spent so much time with Queen's music lately, with the Queen 50 series. So that's all fresh in my mind. But somehow this feels like it belongs in the same department. And at the same time, it doesn't feel like a knockoff, a copy, a weak imitation. It feels like he has his own personality and his own style and his own voice, his own message. Speaking of message, this song, I said it's not quite epic. I wouldn't call it epic, but power ballad certainly suits. It has this deep power feel to it that carries us along, which is not just by those heavy-hitting drum beats, is also with the instrumental mix, and especially when the cello comes in, and there's even a bit of organ there, and the piano. I haven't really commented about the piano, but the piano just keeping the pulse, keeping the texture, doing its thing, helps to carry this and propel it forwards in this sort of one wave after the next. And the way he expresses this idea, Purple Rain, and what he said about the end of the world. The end of the world. It's interesting how eager the lyrics sound, how positive they sound. I only wanted to see you laughing in the purple rain. I wanted to see you bathing in the purple rain. I wanted to see you underneath the purple rain. And then it ends, I only want to see you in the purple rain. Well, we could get into the lyrics a bit more deeply as well and try to unravel what he's talking about this relationship. But I think that this desire to see the one you love joyful and doing well, let's say, in a perhaps tragic, perhaps shattering situation, but in spite of everything going on around, you want to see this person thriving and vibrant. That's what I take from this, and I like that buoyancy and that positivity to it. Well, there's another similarity between this, at least this song of Prince's, and one of the qualities I've grown to really enjoy and appreciate about Queen's music. So I'm curious to hear all of your thoughts about this. Hear maybe what you think about Queen versus Prince. Of course, I'm sure you know a lot more of Prince's work than I do, so you can say more about it, whether I'm totally off track or whether there is something there. But a very worthwhile exploratory listen, and I guess I'll check out some more Prince in the future. I'll see you soon.